to another beer reviews. Tonight we're going to be trying another beer by Black Sheep. This is their Imperial Russian Stout. I've already spoken about Black Sheep. They do like really traditional English style ales, traditional hops, traditional barley, and they are very good at doing that. And this is the first beer, I would hazard to say. I've already tried Progression, which is a kind of their amped up British style bitter. This is the first beer that I think when they've kind of pushed the bar and gone away from traditional British styles. Although, interestingly enough, an Russian Imperial Stout is a traditional British style. It was just a very strong stout brewed for the Russian Tsar. I'm not entirely sure which Russian Tsar. It says here in the 18th century. To the court of Catherine the Great, there you go. So this was originally brewed to send to the court of Catherine the Great, the Russian Imperial Stout style. So they've tried to amp it up a bit. This is 8.5%, so this is well away from the sessionable bitters and sessionable style beers that they have. Royalty is the kind of strongest ale that they have. A regular range ale, and that's only about, I think that's only 5.5, maybe even 6%. And Royalty is a sheep that's fallen on its back and can't get up. They say that's pretty strong. I mean, we've tried stronger beers than that on this show, that's for sure. 32% is all I'm saying. So Russian Imperial Stouts and styles are very dark, very chocolatey, very complex beers, and I'm intrigued to see what Black Sheep have done with that. So we'll pour it into our little Black Sheep glass. There we go. It's got a nice amount of head coming off it there. That's about a 2-finger head. Very dark, as you can probably see. Tons and tons of carbonation on the side of the glass. It is bubbling away like mad on the inside as well, so it's nice to see a good level of carbonation. It is a tiny bit see-through. It's not as dark as you think it might be. It has a red tinge to it, so it's not the blackest and darkest of the Russian Imperial Stouts that I've seen, but hey ho, that's fine. The head retention is amazing on it as well. Can you see it? It's just, the head is just stuck. It's thick and it is full and it is staying there for the duration. It's going to give us a good aroma, so let's give it a smell. Oh. Do you know what? I can actually smell quite a lot of yeast in this. Yeast and then like a nice chocolatey back to it. It always has kind of a baker's yeast smell. If you've ever, well, I'm sure everyone's smelled the baker's yeast if you've ever gone past a bakery before, that kind of smell to it. And then like a deep, rich chocolatey body behind it. And a bit of roasty, toasty flavours coming through that as well. So it smells quite typically as I'd expect a Russian Imperial Stout to smell. Chocolatey, deep, dark and heavy. But there's a nice little bit of a yeasty note in there as well, which might contrast it quite well. So without further ado, bottoms up. Oh yeah, that is good. That's really pleasant. The first thing that I noticed when I took a sip of it is how dense this is. This is thick as anything. It's viscous. It's really chunky. The Harvesting Ola Do that we tried in a different review had the same sort of oily texture. It felt like it glugging. It really did feel heavy. This has got the same texture to it. It's remarkably thick and chunky, and that's absolutely fantastic. And then I get the main body of malt is roasted flavours, the kind of toast and nice bready flavours coming through, and then a kind of rush of chocolate towards the end as well. But mainly the body of it is more roasted flavours, So somewhere in between the really dark chocolate malts and the paler malts, not too heavy on the toasting of the barley or the roasting barleys. Apart from that, there is nice subtle bitterness that's almost kind of like a coffee bitterness if you've ever had coffee grains or grounds or something like that, as opposed to a kind of hoppy bitterness that's very tart and kind of continues. It's almost just kind of isolated towards the back of the palate, and it's very subtle. It's a very subtle bit of hop bitterness going on. Perhaps I would like to see a little bit more bitterness, because Russian Imperial Stouts tend to have to be hopped to absolute hell to even get a flavour hop in them, because the malt body is so big in them. Having said that, because it is more of a roasty flavour as opposed to a rich, deep, dark chocolatey flavour, perhaps that hop bitterness is well balanced. I've always thought that black sheep ales are exceptionally well balanced, and you always get like a continual flavour. You get this kind of nice flavour profile of malt, hops and bitterness throughout all of their beer range, or throughout all of their ranges, and this one's probably no different. It's not as dark as I would expect a Russian Imperial Stout to be, and you know, Black Sheep aren't known for their stronger beers, I suppose, and it's not as much hop as I would expect a Russian Imperial Stout to have either, so perhaps it's more of a strong stout of sorts. I don't know, it's maybe, I don't know how you classify it, let's be honest like that, but it's not as deep and dark, and it's not as heavy on the hops as I am accustomed to when it comes to Russian Imperial Stouts. I still enjoy it, it's still very nice, and it's the perfect kind of accompaniment to a nice evening after a long day at work, and it's definitely nice. So I'm probably going to give it about a 7 out of 10, because it's just not as kicking as I'd like it to be, and at the percentage it's at, it's very smooth though. I will say that it doesn't feel like an 8.5% beer, despite being thick and viscous. It doesn't feel stupendously heavy in the stomach when it's lying there. It feels nice and pleasant. It's not too heavy, and it's certainly not too light and watery. So yeah, a nice 7 out of 10 I think. I think the style's been done better by other companies before, but this is by no way means a bad beer. And Walton Black Sheep are going out there and trying something a little bit different away from the comfort zone. Certainly not bad, and it's nice, stable foundation beer from this limited edition. You know, hopefully one day they'll have this in their regular line. And nice room for development. Oh, and by the way, I really like the artwork on it. Actually, it's got your nice little black sheepy on the top there, and I love it. I really love kind of. Well, it sounds bad, but I really like the communist propaganda posters and things like that, and that has a nice feel of kind of old style Russia, which I like as well, and the Imperial Eagles on it, the double-headed eagles. Is it eagles? I'm sure it's eagles, or maybe it's a griffin, something like that. But I like that as well. So, well done Black Sheep, 7 out of 10, go and give it a shot, there'll still be some around, and until next time, cheers!